Good morning, everybody, and welcome
Yo,
back to
what's up?
Marketing Monday, where we give our expert insights into current marketing news. I'm Chris Reisner, CEO of iMedia, and with me, I have the annoying Eric Brown, president and partner at
That's right.
iMedia. Today, we're going to be diving into some different marketing techniques. Let's go ahead and hop into it. First thing we want to talk about is just owning your own accounts. We see this
Mm-hmm.
all the time with bad agencies.
Yep.
Companies start working with these agencies. They build them out a Google profile, they build them out a website, they build them out Google business profiles, everything.
Even
And
campaigns, monthly campaigns,
yeah, Google ad campaigns.
Facebook,
Yeah, they do
Meta
all of
campaigns.
this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the client stops paying, they take it all with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've watched websites be killed. And some of these websites even rank, but they just kill them because they don't want their client to have the website.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest problem is if you're spending money on establishing your business online, you shouldn't be leasing that marketing space because that's essentially what it is. Because yeah, these companies that don't allow you to be owners and admin on your different accounts, you just straight up should not work with them. Like 100% should not work with any agency that is not going to allow you to own all of your own accounts. We run into it time and time again, especially, really with the website issue. That's huge because marketing people all the time go in and try and sell a website. It's like one of the big things that we would realistically like to avoid because we'd like to just take over an existing site if it's built out well and it, is in one of the builders that we like to work in. But a lot of the time we find, companies will spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on a website, and then they'll be with, that provider for a year, 2 years. But when it comes down to it, they cancel or they want to move on. They no longer own any of that. So then they're literally starting from scratch. So with SEO, right, you're spending all this money. People are finding you organically and finding your business by searching for services and products. And then all of a sudden you have to start from scratch, right? You lose a lot of that stuff that you would have had built out therefore. Or, you're working with a company for a couple of years or even just a year, you spend, $50,000, $100,000 on Google ads, and then you no longer have access to that ads account. So you don't have any of that data. So everything that you paid for is now gone. So then it's up to you to find a different company and literally start over from scratch.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that you just said is you don't have the data because a lot of times, like whenever we take over a Google
No
ad
data. Yeah.
campaign, we're not we're not just turning on their ads and running with them. Obviously, we've got our own processes and how we build out ad campaigns, but knowing what they have done in the past and having that data is really the most important part because we're able to see what has worked,
Hmm.
what hasn't worked, and it kind of helps just kill that learning curve a little bit. But I mean, if you don't have anything, then every account's starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And I
Eh,
mean,
go
you can
ahead.
go.
Nope. Go for it.
Okay. And really, one of the biggest things for a company, like whenever you're looking at your agencies, get access to your accounts. Don't wait until you're trying to leave them
Hmm.
to get access because that puts you in a bad spot if they already know you're trying to leave or they have a feeling you're about to leave and then you start asking for all of your stuff.
Hmm.
Get access immediately. That's one of the things we do immediately at Vi Media is we give everybody a password sheet. Everybody has access to all of their accounts, whether it's just a Gmail that we make or it's their ad account. They have access to every single piece.
And if they cancel and want to leave and go to another marketing company, we give them all their assets, hand it over, and send them on their way.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a good marketing relationship anyway, like if someone wants to leave, holding them hostage isn't going to help the relationship.
Yeah, we just went through that with a local company here in St. Louis, um, and it hasn't worked out well for that business owner.
Yeah. I mean, he's being held hostage
He
and
literally can't get access to any of his websites. He can't get access to his Google business listing. And at the end of the day, what the hell are we supposed to do?
well, and now the company that he was working with that he was paying, I think he started paying them again and they're still not doing any new work.
Yeah,
They keep telling him they're going to do new work
yeah,
and he can't do anything about it because what's he going to do? Again, just leave everything,
yeah.
start from scratch. And the other thing is making sure that your website's built in a platform that you're going to have access to. There are some platforms out there that it's really hard to share access. Big reason why we work with
What
WordPress.
are some of those?
So I don't know specifics, but I know that we've had clients that like they just cannot get access to the back end of their website. Like they don't have users.
Yeah.
So it's everybody has an admin login or they don't.
Yeah.
And that's obviously insecure because if their old company has their access, then that's not going to work.
Yep.
And really everybody should have their own user login because we don't need everybody to have admin access. But using something like WordPress, even Webflow or like Squarespace is better than some of these other platforms.
Weebly.
And just making sure, maybe not Weebly, but just making sure that you have access to all of your different data.
Yeah.
And all of your different logins.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this right now and you don't know, go and ask for it. You want access to Google Analytics. You want access to Google Search Console. And you want to own those accounts. You want to have Builder access to the website. You want to own the domain and hosting and figure out where that's at. What else? The Google Ad account, obviously. Any of your meta data that's inside Instagram and Facebook. You want to be the owner and admin of that. If you don't know if you have any of this stuff, email your provider right now and ask for that stuff because you need it. And if they're not going to give you access to it, then you should probably leave.
And actually, I was just thinking about it. There are SEO companies out there that will do like content networks.
Mm-hmm.
So you can own your website and they'll create like a blog page on a subdomain of your website.
Yep.
So they're posting out these blogs and you start getting those SEO results. You start showing up and going up the ranks. And then if you stop paying them, they just take away all the blogs because it's on a network. And then at the end of the day, all of those blogs end up actually redirecting to a website in their content network, which actually helps them more than it helps you. So, I mean, really, you just got to be careful, too, with what it is that you're doing. Like, make sure that if you're doing blogs, they're actually being posted on your website in your builder, not on some other, people used to use Medium.
Yeah.
And try to do blogs like that.
100%.
Like, you want to make sure that it's you own it and you're going to own all of it whenever, at the end of the day, when everything's done.
Well, it's just like anything else you'd pay for in real life for your business. Are you going to pay for something that someone else owns? And at the end of the day, once you stop paying for that item, you no longer have access to it. You can no longer use it. If you're a home service company and you go and purchase whatever, a shovel, some sort of heavy equipment, whatever it is, you own that equipment. You own it. You buy it, whatever. No, I said or heavy equipment. I didn't say shovel was heavy equipment. Heavy, whatever. You go and you buy a tool. You buy that tool. You pay for that tool. You pay for that tool for over a year, and you pay it off. And then guess what? You close your Home Depot account, and they come and take that shit back. That's crazy.
I mean, that's essentially what it is.
It's crazy.
But okay, I think we beat that one into the ground.
Yes.
Own
your marketing data. Own your marketing assets. If you don't know, figure it out. If you do know that you don't, stop working with your provider.
Yeah. Honestly, like if you don't already own it and they said that they're not going to give it to you, then you're just pushing off the inevitable.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're with them.
You're throwing money at nothing.
Sign a marriage certificate because you're with them forever. Literally.
Yeah. I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about a company. They got screwed by their old marketing provider.
Mm-hmm.
They own nothing.
Yeah.
How do they get started as restarting their marketing?
Oof. The first thing, we've been talking about this recently, Google Business Listing, right? Google Business Profile, whatever you want to call it. Having that set up is super important for your business. That and like a website, and then of course social media. But setting up a Google Business Listing, you want to make sure right now, especially, that you're finding an actual business address to list your business at. That way on Google Maps, it can actually pull your listing up. If you just have like a service area, 99% of the time and don't have an actual business address, you're not going to show up in rankings anywhere near as well as those people that do have that address. So you want to set up an address. If you're at your home or you don't have an actual address, there are shared office spaces, more likely than not, near you that will even give you a better address right where you want to be located on Google Maps to help you rank. And really all you need is just, a virtual mailbox, if you will. A lot of them charge, 50, $100 a month. You never have to go there. You can get mail there, but really you just need to make sure that you're going to be able to get video verification at that shared office space. Once you get that, you're golden. Other than that, obviously setting up social media profiles of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever your audience is at, obviously focus more on those than the other platforms. And then, of course, building out a website. That way you can start ranking organically, but also just sending people to, that know about you, right? A ton of companies still to this day don't have a website or have something that was built like 20 years ago, and they just don't care about it. The big thing is, even if you're a company that doesn't rely on leads online, and really at the end of the day, they don't even care, right? They're referral based, relationship based. At the end of the day, if you don't have a website set up and you don't have social media, you don't have like a Google business listing set up, and someone refers you and they go to Google, they search for your company name and they have an issue finding you or anything about your business, I mean, you're not going to get that lead, or you're converting on a hell of a lot less of the referrals that you could have been getting.
Yeah, I mean, there's really two main things to focus on whenever building your website too. And it's not even how many pages you have or anything. It's the quality of your content,
Mhm.
making sure that you have good content. And depending on your industry, that could be one page of content or that could be 100 pages of content.
Mhm.
It just kind of depends on how uh, big your industry is and how hard it is to rank in
Yeah,
that
keyword
industry.
difficulty, right? We
Yeah,
always
keyword
we always
difficulty.
look back at that. Absolutely.
And then the other thing is going to be kind of like focusing on your reputation, building up your presence and showing that you're a real business.
Mhm.
I think we've all looked up websites that have, the business looks fake, it looks scammy. If it's not a professional website, people aren't going to go there. So you want to make
Especially if
sure
you're
that it,
selling a service that's expensive.
yeah, exactly. And the more expensive your website or the more expensive your service is, the better your website needs to look.
Mhm.
If you're trying to, we just had Adam on the podcast. If you're trying to get a private jet, you need to have a really good looking website.
Yeah,
You're not going to a Weebly website.
hopefully not.
Back to Weebly.
Yeah.
Um, and you want to make sure that you look good on the internet. Really, those are going to be the two biggest things for your website.
Yeah. That's the first thing we do with every one of our clients for the most part, is run them
Yeah,
through that
digital foundation and then a
and then a
website.
website. 'Cause that's what you need. If you're doing any other marketing and you don't have the stuff we just said set up, you're not getting a large return of investment as you could be getting 100%. I mean, think about people that run like Facebook ads to a terrible website, or Google ads to a terrible landing page, or Google ads to, like, you've seen Google ads to a GoDaddy site. Remember
Yeah.
Google used to have those websites. I think they got rid of those last year, but it's insane. These platforms will take your money if you give it to them. They don't care about performance, which I'm curious actually. So last thing before we get out of here, I actually want to talk Google Smart Campaigns. So Google Smart Campaigns, do you have anything else before I transition over to Google Smart Campaigns?
No, I mean, the only thing I was going to add is that it's crazy how many people will put money into Google ads or into an SEO campaign or Facebook ads and not even have a proper website to send them to.
Mhm.
Like the digital foundation and your website are literally the foundations of your business.
Yeah.
And then to send and spend, $2,000 a month on Facebook ads and send it to some random website is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, people always wonder why it's not working well.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
well,
that's a big part of it.
it's either, the ad itself, the targeting, or the website or landing page. Obviously, there's a lot of other nuances that go into it, but
Yeah.
you look at those few things, and it's easy to realize usually why something's not working as well or not working at all. Um, okay, Google Smart Campaigns, real quick. So, just talked to, as always, was just auditing a Google ad account. We get in there. He's not spending a lot. I think $1,000 a month or something along those lines. And it was all essentially to Google partner websites. So it was all bot traffic. And he had a total of, I think, like 6 clicks, which, in Google ad space, we know that, we would like to get a conversion rate of, let's just say 15% on a landing page. 6 people, maybe one of those people converted after they clicked. Maybe. So Google Smart Campaigns, I'm curious if Google's ever going to get sued for this, because Google Smart Campaigns are smart for Google because it takes your company's money and gives it right to Google. It does not spend your money the best it could be spent on Google. Arguably, it's spent the least, or the worst it could be spent on Google. And we see it all the time, especially with Google Smart Campaigns. Almost every time we see a Google Smart Campaign set up, it's because, number one, someone's using usually a very small digital marketing agency or just like a one-off person, right? Family, friend, someone they know, someone that does it part-time on the side and maybe has a full-time marketing gig or something along those lines. But, these people are paying, $300-$500 a month for X person to manage it. But at the end of the day, every time we see this, right, we see, well, I'm only paying this person, $500 a month to manage it. It's like, yeah, but you should be paying them zero, and you should be spending zero on Google Ads, because the money going to her and the money going to Google is both being lit on fire right now, and you're getting nothing back for it. So I wonder if Google is going to get sued for this eventually.
I mean, I think they're too big to fail, so they probably won't get sued.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting about Google and their ads is, like, you got to think about it. What does Google consider success?
Mm-hmm.
Getting clicks on their ad is considered successful for them.
Or just views.
So that's all they care about. Yeah,
Mhm.
views, impressions, clicks, whatever.
Yep.
So they consider that successful, but really for a business owner, the only thing that's going to make that campaign successful is actually getting conversions, getting leads, and then turning those into jobs.
Yep.
Because if you're not turning, it doesn't matter if you get 1 million impressions on an ad. If you don't get any leads from it and you don't actually do any jobs,
Mhm.
you've just wasted all your money.
Yep.
And I mean, that's really all that Smart Campaigns. And like, you go into Google accounts, you see it all the time now, and we get the phone calls from Google reps.
Oh my God. If
who
you're
are-
getting called by Google reps, don't talk to them. They don't know what they're doing. They are literally ruining your ad account. Sadly, sometimes we lose clients. We just lost a client. And literally within the matter of a week, Google rep called them for, I guess, the email we still have is still on their account, so we're able to see. They just ruined their account in the matter of a couple days.
Well, they pretty much just went in and started auto-applying recommendations.
Right.
But Google doesn't have their best. Like, Google just wants more money for themselves.
Yeah.
And as long as they can show impressions, people aren't going to question it.
Yep.
Until their business isn't doing as well as it was.
And these people don't work for Google. They're like contractors. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
They literally don't care. They just want more money for Google. That's it. It's really
Which seems to be working.
It seems to be working
But
pretty.
it's crazy. Like, they've started sending emails. They're doing ads within like Gmail.
Yeah.
They're doing phone calls. I mean, constant phone calls. We get them all day long.
I literally don't know how Google's not going to get sued. It seems predatory 100%.
Because they've got Congress in their pocket.
I mean, we love Google Ads. It works super well for our clients.
Yeah.
But all those people that don't have a good marketing agency behind them are more than likely getting screwed by Google.
Yeah.
Just like this person I talked about. And if he's spending $1,000 a month, he's one person. I've talked to hundreds. They're doing it. Think about the thousands, tens of thousands of businesses, hundreds of thousands of businesses that are spending just a little bit of money on Google and Facebook that aren't getting anything. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can have good Google ad account that has, say, 100 clicks, you get 15% actually converting.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh, well, if I open it up and get even more clicks or even more impressions on the ad, then it's just going to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But really what ends up happening is they start showing your ad to people who don't care about your service because they're not looking for it. And I think that's one of the biggest things with Google Ads is, like, you have to be insanely targeted. You have to know exactly what your search terms are, what's actually going to convert. And that's like the most important part. A lot of people are using like broad match campaigns where, they're just
broad
hitting
match
anything that they
broad
can.
match. If you log into your Google ad campaign and most of your money's on broad match, you're probably not doing well.
Right. And then whenever your marketing agency goes over those analytics, they might be showing you a bunch of impressions and likes, but honestly, not likes because it's Google, obviously, bunch of impressions and clicks, and the most important part is going to actually be what converts.
Yep, cost per lead.
Yeah.
And then of course the metric after that is how many of those leads can you actually convert?
Yeah.
To, if your
How
home
many-
service company, an estimate, a quote, a visit, whatever it is from that point. So you want to make sure obviously they're qualified.
and
which-
2 closes, because that's how much you can put back into it too.
Yep. Yeah, measuring it by campaign, figuring out what keywords work best based on the service, based on the profit per job. I mean, there's a lot that you can get into if you properly have this stuff tracked and analyzed. But going back to what we just said, not only do a lot of people not own that stuff, but a lot of these companies don't even properly set up analytics or tracking.
Yeah.
So you don't know how well you're doing. You just get some bullshit report from a marketing agency that's like, that tells you nothing. And you're supposed to just, take it as a whatever.
Or they're manipulating the data. I mean, we had a client who came to us and they said their marketing agency told them they had a 80 times ROI, which is an absolutely insane ROI. Listen, if you can get an 80 times ROI for your clients, I mean, you should be rolling in the money, because that's insane.
I mean, measuring an ROI through brand awareness, social media ads is pretty crazy in and of itself. So, directly measuring ROI is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Also, 80 times ROI, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good. I'd hire them all day long if that was real.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right. That what we got for today?
Yep. That is all we've got for today. Make sure that you're following us on. Oh, you're just ending it?
No. Just clapping.
We don't
It
actually
was
have
a
an
good
outro.
it was a good episode. Yeah, I mean, we're posting this on Vi Media's channels. We're going to be making this every Monday. We have other videos coming out as well about marketing, how to digital market for your business. So follow, subscribe, like, leave a comment. If we said something wrong, let us know. We're pretty good at digital marketing, but, there's always stuff that we don't know. So let us know if we messed something up. I don't think we did, but, let us know.
I'd hope not. We're supposed to be experts in this.
We are experts, but just like, just like Boeing, they can't install a door plug. So,
You're really on the bone.
All right. We'll see everyone next week. Thank you.